Today, I am going to start with a very important topic of SMART, that is self-management and real life transformation. So the topic I have chosen today, which is one of the major components of this SMART, is self-concept and self-awareness. Okay, so this is a short tool or component that is required for making any growth in your personality. Okay, for personality enhancement, this is one of the important pillars, and therefore I am starting important and basic. Okay, why I'm calling it basic, you would understand as we move further. So in this, what I wish to cover today is the self concept. Okay, now as you can look at it, when you look into the mirror, what is the internal talk that is happening? That is what defines self concept. Okay, it refers to the perception and beliefs that individuals hold about themselves. Okay, so this is very important for all of us to understand, and it affects the way you think, it affects the way you feel, it affects the way you do actions, and all of them put together then uh, lead to your behavior patterns, and some of your behavior patterns constitute your personality. Okay, so please understand that. Now, thereafter, very important thing next is your steps to build self confidence. Okay, to have a good self confidence about yourself, what are the steps you need to have? Okay, first is self awareness, very important. This is the main subject matter today. Then, after you realize yourself, the next stage is self acceptance. Okay, we have to accept and be responsible for our thoughts, feelings, and actions. It is only when you accept yourself as what you are, then only the change can happen. Okay? Having accepted, the next stage is self realizing your internal potentialities. Okay, that is what is going to lead to your growth. And last is self disclosure. Before you disclose anything to anybody else, you have to know it yourself. You need to know your strengths and weaknesses, and then you can share with the rest of the world with confidence. All right. Now, how this self confidence or self concept shapes personality, some of it I have already told you. Just to summarize again, it helps to build good cognitive processes. I covered with you in SSB. First factor deals with your mental faculties. Okay, so if you have good self concept about yourself, you will have a lot of clarity and you will be able to handle situations accordingly. Okay, you will be able to take good decisions in life, and even your interpersonal relationships will be very good. Behavioral patterns, right? I told you it affects the way you think, it affects the way you feel, it affects the way you act. All of them put together make your behavior patterns, and some of it is nothing but personal. Emotional response, very important again. So in a given situation, how you react emotionally, whether you remain stable or you get affected. Because if you get affected, all your processes, that is your cognitive process, your behavior, etc., will go for a 6. Okay. So if you have a good self concept about yourself, you will have a good emotional response to all the situations. All right. Now coming to the main topic today, which is self awareness, like I discussed with you earlier. This is key to personal growth. Okay, and if you look into the definition, it says the conscious understanding of one's own character, feelings, motives, and desires. Now, please make a note of conscious. I put it in red so that it calls your attention. Okay. And a good self awareness allows you to understand what am I feeling, why I'm feeling what I am feeling. Okay, what am I thinking as of now, and why I'm thinking what I'm thinking, and as a result, what am I doing? Okay, So this kind of an understanding gets developed once you have self-awareness. So various stages of self-awareness I'll cover with four stages primarily. Unconscious incompetence. Okay, so it is lack of awareness. You don't know about yourself and what are the limitations you have. That is the first stage. Many of us are remain in first stage of awareness throughout our life. Second stage is conscious incompetence. Okay, you start realizing consciously that there are certain limitations I have, and if you are sincere about it, there is a feeling that I need to. So that is the stage of conscious incompetence. All of you preparing for SSB should be at least in this stage. Now, how you move further? Stage 3 is conscious competence. You start working on it. You start filling on those gaps. You start working on yourself and grow. Okay, so that is conscious competence. You put in efforts for all of it. And the final stage is unconscious competence. Unconscious competence. You don't have to do anything, it becomes part of you. Okay, you have mastered your self-awareness to the extent that it has become your second nature. Comes out as a natural habit. So this is what you need to work on. A quick example I can give. Want to say learn cycling. First is initially a small child of say 5-6 months won't even know there is a requirement of a cycle. Okay, and what is his potential? So he's in this unconscious incompetence. As he grows, he starts realizing, no, I need to learn how to ride a cycle. But then, as of now, I can't. Then he starts putting in efforts. Okay, but while he is doing so, he's very particular. Okay, how he holds the handle, should not accident, hold around, all those things. And with practice, he reaches a stage of unconscious competence. Okay, he has mastered the art, and then while he is cycling, he doesn't have to think anything. So that is the kind of competence you need to have in your personality, so that you don't have to work for it. It's so much obvious to anybody. Anybody seeing this says, okay, he knows how to cycle. The importance of self-awareness, well, I mean, this is the root to personal growth. Please understand. Okay, stronger the root, more the plant will, more personalities will polish it. Okay, so it enriches your emotional intelligence. I've already told you, facilitates your personal growth. Any conflict situation, because you know yourself, you are aware of the emotions of others. Any conflict situation arising, you handle it in a matured fashion. Okay, all right. And goal setting. If you are clear in your mind, you know your strengths and weaknesses. You know what kind of efforts you can put it, whether that goal is reachable, practical, with little stretch. So you can do right goal setting and set time and action plan in place. So if all of that happens, automatically you are growing in terms of your personality. Okay. Now, people ask me many times that how do I identify my weakness? Okay, so I tell them first stage is self-reflection. You got to introspect, you got to sit down, get into that state of conscious incompetence. Okay, what are the areas where I need, and then follow other two stages. So first, look with how you're feeling, how you're reacting to these situations, and once that is in place, the next stage is get feedback from others. All your well-wishers, your friends, your teachers, parents, they should be able to tell you that what are the areas that personal without being defensive. Get that. Okay, so you are getting your feedback so that you get this appreciation. And then you start to the conscious competence point. Start working on it till you reach the point of unconscious competence. Okay, and certain areas remain blind to everybody. Okay? You don't know certain aspects of your personality, nor your friends or teachers know about. Okay, but still they affect your day-to-day functioning. So to get into those aspects, you can use certain assessment tools. There are few like uh, Myers-Briggs personality indicator. You would have heard about it. A lot of materials are available, and also Johari's window. which I shall be covering time permitting sometime later. Okay. Now, in conclusion, what I would say, reflection is the first step. Okay. First step is reflection. Reflect, do self introspection, look with, and ask serious question. What are the areas for my, and then once you decide that, you need to have courage. Okay, it requires courage. You have to put it in some kind of an action plan which you have to follow on a regular basis daily. Okay, certain discomforts you will have to undergo. Forget your comforts, go out of your uh, comfort zone, work for it, and then start climbing that ladder of incompetence to competence. Okay? And lastly, practice empathy day to day, day to day, how you react with your cases. So much so for this present. Next, I will follow it with thinking, feeling, and action cycle. Thank you so much.